We discussed this particular design in the previous movie. It's a design from Holland, and the site, the rear behind a dwelling, is designed cleverly to cope with water from buildings that will overflow from a tank here or a barrel and through this sort of wetland or wadi area. We started to develop a plant schedule by attaching a file. I'll just edit it. So here is the plant schedule, the cost of each individual species, a code, and so on. So we have the information. We then associated each of these symbols with an entry. This is an actinidia aguta, not one that I'm familiar with, but a fruit tree nonetheless. A couple of climbers. Here's a particular clematis and a different clematis here. So we can go to GCAD Plus and show symbols with names, so you can see most of the symbols are tagged. Not this particular one, it's not tagged, so we could select it and say I'm going to tag it, set data to a plant, and we would find an entry and say OK. And now when we select that symbol, it's associated with a Weigelia species or Weigelia variety. What I wanted to demonstrate here is that we were able to make the plant schedule, and let's update it. We'll go to plant schedule and update. That should include that particular Weigelia that we just added, this one here, and there's of course one entry. So there are bog plants or wadi plants scattered through here with some taller shrubs growing amidst them. We've included a scale bar and a north indicator, and the specification is for a rocking chair on that disc there, and with a little block we've brought in showing plan view and side and elevation views of the rocking chair. The point of this story is to go into layout, and what I hope you can see is that the main design is held within this floating viewport. We've set a scale of 50, and so we can say that's a fixed scale. So in the bar here we can say here's the scale of 1 to 50. A couple of the species that are used in the design are shown here. In another floating viewport we have the plant schedule, and another one showing the diagrams or the various views of the rocking chair. You set these floating viewports by right-clicking on layout, and we add a viewport. I'll put it over here to start with, and to set what that viewport's going to look at, you just double-click here, and you can change that view. And let's say you wanted to show this little area down in the corner, and then I can display it on the layout. And can you see we now have a close-up view of that area. I changed the colour, you might have noticed, to 254 so it doesn't dominate. So we can have a floating viewport to look at any part of the design. When it comes time to print this, we can say, the other thing I've done is to put a rectangle with a corner radius of 10 millimeters around the edge, and I've made a thickness of 0.3. So let's now print the design. It's on an A3 sheet, And what we'll do, we'll make the colour of these floating viewports, take it away from 254 and set it there. So we now have on an A3 sheet our design nicely laid out with all the information about the client and location. We can then do a quick check print, file and save as a PDF. I'll set it window, I'll say high resolution, okay that, and come in here and set one corner of the print box and come down here and would call it test, override what is there, and there is our plan nicely presented. So I hope that shows you just a little about how you might present that original design we worked on in the previous video.